My biggest failure taught me that burnout and busyness are not badges of honor. They do not show your amazing work ethic. What really happens is you are consistently working in overwhelm and you're ending up with these low paying clients, low paying assignments, and you don't have any plan. You have zero plan about how to fix that, how to get high paying diamond clients for your freelance writing business, how to get ongoing work that actually helps you plan 3 to 6 months ahead. And you're just living in this messy middle. But I'm going to help you get out of the messy middle by giving you how my business has run from the past, the present, and the future. I'm Mandy Ellis. I'm a 6-figure freelance writer who helps other freelance writers build 5-figure months with dream clients without the burnout, stress, and overwhelm. So instead of me working hard and getting nowhere, this is what happens. So this is the first thing. This is the past. This is number one, the past. So let me tell you about my burnout story. So I've burned out a couple times in my freelance writing career because I was kind of working on this harder, not smarter track. And I'm going to tell you about my worst burnout. So in April 2018, from April to September, I worked every single day with only 2 days off. I worked 10 to 15-hour days that whole time. And I took a week off, like 5 to 7 days or whatever in August. And then I ended up sleeping 13 hours a night for 3 weeks and not really being able to work for September, October, and November of that year because I was so mentally, physically, and emotionally exhausted from working so much. And what I was doing was not planning ahead. I ended up working on a lot of $200 to $500 assignments. Some of those things I really loved, but it wasn't actually helping me develop like who are my diamond clients, who are my top high paying clients that really help me refine the future of my business. I call this my new pair of glasses when I teach my Wealth Lab students. The new pair of glasses is being able to look at a set of characteristics or attributes for these high paying diamond clients and then go find them. And the more you can learn about these attributes, the easier it is to find these high paying diamond clients. So for me, instead of being on track, I was just working in my business. I was on the hustle. I was ignoring my marketing pipeline. I was just working with whatever kept coming into my inbox and whatever kind of stories I was pitching out. I worked with a lot of magazines. If you are someone who works with a lot of magazines or came from a journalist background and you're kind of scared to get into content marketing or content strategy, give me a thumbs up. That was me. I was living on the hamster wheel life because I didn't understand how to balance things. So this is another thing I teach my Wealth Lab students is cake and icing niches. So niches are like industries. So like biotech or SaaS or equestrian or veterinary SaaS or travel and food. So for me, I was so scared to move into content marketing and didn't really understand how to balance the fun, cool things with the things that maybe didn't make as much money with the things that did. And I feel like a lot of times that's what my students miss is they don't have this balance of cake and icing. They just end up working all the time. They're working harder. They're in this place where they're working 60 to 80-hour weeks. They might be freelance writers with 2 years experience or 10 years, or sometimes I have students with 30 years of experience who are stuck on this long hamster wheel and going nowhere. They're not making progress. So I want you to kind of imagine this as the piece that you're missing are these fundamental strategies, these strategies that change your business day to day. They're not the things where you end up working harder and you're just kind of beasting it out. This isn't the grind mode. This is the thing that there are specific strategies that are changing how you work in your business every single day so you can actually plan for the future so that you don't have to live the past that I did where you're burning out and you feel like you have to take months off because you've worked so much. And especially when we're talking about working all the time and especially when you're going through a tough year. I want to tell you about my student, Alexa. So Alexa had a tough year of rough, underpaying clients, and she really fell off track with her business, with her mindset, with her marketing pipeline. She had about 10 years of experience, and she was really looking for a system. She's looking for that tried and true and tested system to put those strategies in place to fix the inner workings of her day-to-day business. So after she took the Wealth Lab, after she put on her new pair of glasses, she found those diamond clients. She dug through the gold nugget data in her spreadsheet, and she put in those cake and icing niches. Within a few months with this system, she raised her monthly income by several $1,000s, about 75%. And this year, 2025, she negotiated double the pay from one of her multi-year long-term anchor clients. So she boosted her confidence while also making double the money from a client she's been working with for quite some time. And this really comes down to the strategies that then help you day to day, that then build your confidence, that then allow you to understand where your boundaries are and how to move forward and what a really great client looks like. So this is a really important piece. And if you want to learn more about that, I have a free live masterclass that I am teaching. It's called how to reach 5-figure months as a freelance writer while reducing your weekly work hours in 4 vital strategies. If you go to mandyellis.com/masterclass, there are 3 different times available for you to sign up. And this is my last live set of masterclasses for the rest of the year. So if you are interested in putting these strategies in place and really building a thriving, adaptable business for the future as a freelance writer, definitely sign up and join us. Next piece here is number 2. We're going to talk about the present. So this was kind of my turning point. This was what spurred off, like starting late 2018, after I kind of came back to work, to 2019, which was one of my best freelance writing years yet. So after the burnout of 2018, I went into 2019 and I actually started putting these things in place. This is how I came up with cake and icing and the new pair of glasses, and the diamond clients, and how to identify these specific types of data points in your business. So about 2 years later, I ended up hitting 6 figures for the first time in my business. And I also ended up getting my first content strategy project with no experience. And I also hit my first 30K month. So I really want you to understand that these things are a avalanche effect. It's not something where it's magic, like you put it in today and it works tomorrow. It's something that takes time, but boy, when you really work on it every day, and I talk about this with my students, um, where you are you doing the needle moving activities every single day in your business, that builds up over time. This is the same thing with sending LOIs to businesses, those letters of introduction, you can call them cold emails. That creates this compounding effect that then really nurtures your business. But it's because you're taking these consistent actions every single day. So whether, you're doing the cake and icing, you're doing the new pair of glasses or the diamond clients, or one of the other things I teach my Wealth Lab students that really changed the game, this was like the present part after 2019, was my tuning fork technique. So this thing is basically teaching you how to explain your skills, your knowledge, experience to your high paying diamond clients. You have to speak the same language as them, because they don't talk the same as like a mid-level or a red light client. It's very different. So it's something that I started picking up on. Like, the more they say these things, write it down, put it in your website, put it in LinkedIn. The more they say this, put it in your website and LinkedIn. So there is a very specific set of words and a kind of a formula and a way that you can put things together that speaks exactly to diamond clients. It is exactly the same language. And for me, unfortunately, I had to burn out to kind of start figuring that out. Hopefully, now that you understand that there's certain ways that these green light and diamond clients talk. And it's something that I think too, when you work with a lot of red light clients, or you are in a business that is broken and you're like drowning in it every day, it's really hard to kind of see the forest for the trees. It wasn't until I kind of got to this place where I was like, oh, I need to do this. Oh, I'm noticing that. You have to kind of work on your business. You have to back up a little bit. So you're doing these needle moving activities every day. There's only a handful that you need to do every single day. And it gives you a ton of gold nugget data that points you towards your best clients. It helps you move forward into the type of work that you want to be doing, that you like doing, that's high paying work, versus being like, where are the high paying clients? Or, how do I find this? It's like your business tells you a lot of stuff. And usually, a lot of times, I find that students are um, trying too hard to like force something versus working on rebuilding the actual foundation of their business. So I want to tell you about my student Divya. So Divya really had a difficult personal year. She was kind of in that burnout kind of space, and she was rebuilding her business. This is really updating that concrete framework of her business. She was working hard. She worked really hard, but she continued to have lower rate clients. And not only did she have a lot of low rate clients, they were consistently trying to negotiate her down. But after she's putting these strategies in place, she's using the tuning fork technique, she's putting cake and icing in place, she's going after these higher level projects. She tripled her rates. And not only did she do that, she now has cash loaded international clients and stable projects. And she was able to prioritize mindset and travel over what she used to prioritize, which was work volume. She used to try to do a ton of work, and now she's been able to kind of have a better work life balance. She was able to go to the Eras Tour in Singapore, and now she's a magazine cover girl, and she's been on several podcasts. So she's really upping the types of leads that she's getting. She is getting out there and being more public instead of feeling like she has to do all this stuff working harder all the time. So I feel like if you have been kind of like just the tip that you have to work on the foundation of your business. You can't keep doing the same thing over. You have to work on the actual foundation that runs the day-to-day of your business. If you feel like that piece has been helpful for you, subscribe. We go over that a lot here. We go through how to actually do that and change that. And then the last thing I'm going to tell you is number 3. So number 3 here, this is what I would like to build in my business now, because I have these strategies in place, because I know how to manage my business day to day. My goal right now is 3 to 6 content strategy projects per year. So that could be 3 to 6, maybe 4 to 6. Plus, I would like to help more writers. I would like to have more impact on showing writers how desperately they're needed. I feel like there's so many writers who are scared of AI. It's just a tool. It's just a tool. It's not taking your job. There have been so many studies. I've had multiple articles sent to me, but just as an aside, there's been a couple of articles sent to me that have said 80 to 95% of companies using AI have been ditching it because it's not giving them any ROI. It is not helping their bottom line. It's become more of a headache, and they keep hiring their workers back. Okay, so you and your storytelling ability and um, your drive to help your clients long term, that is needed. Your ability to create these really great relationships with their audience is really important. So, working at this deeper level, really understanding how much these high end clients need you and they want you. I want you to really think about building your confidence. I want you to build your confidence that you have skills that are desperately needed. They are things that those clients who are trying to just do everything with AI, they were never your clients to begin with. The high level diamond clients, the green light clients, all of the great ones, they're maybe using AI for certain parts of the process, but they know they need a real writer, a human, to help them connect on a human level with their audience. So you are there to help them make that connection. That's your job. That's always your job. Even if you're writing for a magazine, that's the same thing. You're making a connection with the audience. So I really want you to build your confidence on like your job is to tell the story. Maybe that story is a case study, which, is pretty much a story. Maybe it's a white paper. Maybe it is a blog post with a bunch of research and interviews. Maybe it is an email sequence. Maybe it's a sales page, but you're telling a story, and those things are really deeply needed. So on the storytelling angle, I also want you to be more of yourself with your personality. So moving into the future, this is something that I'm doing in my business, even if I'm working on content strategy, which is very data and research backed. We want to have more personality, because the more that you're yourself, the more you get those diamond clients who are a perfect fit for you. Because if you end up just trying to be professional, or like doing, doing this version, like you attract clients who are the wrong fit for you. So for me, moving in the future, and I think for you too, especially like my students, where we're planning 3 to 6 months ahead, which that's already into 2026. You want to have your personality kind of lead the charge here. You don't want to just be a wallflower. And I mean that like I am an introvert too. I know I seem extroverted on here, but it's because I get really excited about this information. Plus I'm like in a room alone right now, right? So even as an introvert, I think putting your personality on your website and LinkedIn is really important, and it really captures the right clients for you. um, the other thing too that I'm going to try to do in my business for the future, and maybe this is something that you are working towards, is I'm trying to cut my hours. So I'm trying to work more like 30 to 35 hours a week. My students consistently do that. My Wealth Lab students end up cutting their hours from 60 to 80 to 30 to 35 hours a week. Some are even less. Most of them are right around there. But I would like to cut my time down. So that's something I'm working on for the future. That's something that I think is really about that day to day. And it's something that, even if you're increasing your income, like my students have increased their income 2x to 9x, even if you're increasing your income, it still comes down to your systems. And for me, this is new systems that I'm putting in place. So yes, I've done content writing and content marketing for like almost 13 years. I've worked for magazines, but that changes now, right? I'm running these two businesses with my content strategy and content marketing business, and sometimes writing for magazines still, and running my coaching course, helping freelance writers business. So that has been kind of like a sticky trying to organize my schedule, but it still comes down to me figuring out the systems that work every day so that I can cut my hours and work fewer hours while still having that really good income coming in. So for me, I think about that in terms of like systems, needle movers, day-to-day things. So as you're moving away from fear and scarcity, as you're moving away from all this burnout, I really want you to remember that you were balancing here. It's not ever going to be like a perfect balance. Sometimes it'll be 70-30, sometimes 60-40, sometimes 90-10. But this balance comes down to understanding that's those pieces that you work on every day that make the difference in your business. And for me, I always think about, I always want my students to build a business that makes sense for them. Yes, there are strategies and they are adaptable, but I don't want you to be a mini Mandy. I want you to build a business that makes sense for you. So really think about like, what does balance mean in your business? Like, what are you doing in the future? What are the things that you would like to work towards? Is it hours? Is it money? Is it projects? Is it certain types of clients? Is it certain publications? Is it hitting a certain location on a travel, like on a vacation? Is it, I take off, I usually take off a month between December and January. That was a goal for me for a while. That could be something you're doing. It could be spending more time with your kids or homeschooling. So really think about that. I think that piece, people forget about, like they think balance should be perfect. It's not. Sometimes in my career, I've had to introduce it. Sometimes it's 90-10 and then it becomes 80-20 and then 70-30, and that can take a couple years. But at least if we're introducing that concept, we're changing our future. We're moving our future in the right way. Oh, and last thing here, if we're going to change our future, the Wealth Lab, so Freelance Writer Wealth Lab, my signature course, is opening up for enrollment tomorrow on September 16th. It only opens twice a year in September and April. So if you would like to sign up before doors close on September 25th, go to mandyellis.com/enroll to check it out. That goes, yeah, from the 16th to the 25th. It's open for new students. I would love to have you in there. It is really the step-by-step blueprint, and it is adaptable. It's not something where I want you to copy paste everything I'm doing. I am showing you the kaleidoscope of options. I am showing you like, here's the things to do. Here's the things to try. If you would like to do more copywriting, do this. If you'd like to do content strategy, do this. If you'd like to do more editorial work, do this. So in that course, I'm giving you a lot of different paths that you can take. But it is a blueprint that has worked for all of my students, growing their business, getting their time back, earning more money, working for diamond clients. So if you want to try it, go check it out. Go to mandyellis.com/enroll. But I hope that this was helpful, walking through kind of my past, the present, and the future, and where I want to go. So like how things went for several years in my business, how it kind of flowed into different places, and how I'm really using different kinds of strategies to kind of work things out. So that you can kind of see that it's not really about being busy all the time. It's not really about working harder. It's a lot of times for me, when I was doing a lot of hard work, like really grinding, that made me feel like I was destroying my business. Like I was destroying my day every day. It was really getting me nowhere when I was working, 10 to 15-hour days, or even when I was working 12-hour days. It was really getting to that point of burnout and realizing the kinds of things I needed to work on, those needle moving activities to change my day to day. Changing your day to day will get you out of overwhelm and stress and burnout. It's not something where like you go on a vacation and come back and it's fine. Really changing the day to day of running your business is the key. So I hope this was helpful. Next time, we're going to talk a little bit more about how we stay stuck as freelance writers, how we kind of like need to move on between over a few different things. So I hope this was helpful, and I will see you next time.